Here's what it means for the Bundesliga table. The Leipzig draw leaves them 4 points back of Bayern, but it could be 7 by the end of the weekend when everybody in the Bundesliga will have just 5 games left in the season. For more, we welcome into the show Archie, Rhind-Tutt. Archie, it already felt like RB Leipzig didn't have much margin for error left in the season. How big of a letdown is this performance from Julian Nagelsmann's men?
Huge, because why weren't they taking the game to Hoffenheim in the first half? Where were the runs behind the Hoffenheim defenders, as was pointed out here in the commentary on German telly? I thought that you would have expected a lot more urgency from Leipzig, particularly when Bayern are as tired and have as many injured players as they do now, to put some pressure on them ahead of this game against Wolfsburg. You would at least want to give the impression that you've got something. But if they'd had that goal allowed late on, they would have very much gotten away with one, because that wasn't the performance of a team which you would expect to be challenging in a title race. That they have to be more dominant, and I know that Julian Nagelsmann will be very disappointed with that result.
Archie, let's talk about Julian Nagelsmann. Lothar Matthäus with some very interesting quotes this week. He says that not only is Nagelsmann the first choice for Bayern Munich should Hansi Flick take the Germany job this summer, but also that there's already been contact. I'm wondering what's been the reaction from the Leipzig, Nagelsmann camp, and really across Germany.
So Nagelsmann denied there having been any talks. There is something there. Though I think that he is the logical choice to take over from Hansi Flick should, as is being increasingly now expected in Germany, should Flick step aside and move to the German national team job. I think that Leipzig are very much keen to say, no, nothing there. They took that stance before on players who, and indeed officials who have gone on to leave them. And Markus Krösche, the sporting director, this evening was saying that, no, there's no release clause for Julian Nagelsmann. We're not interested in selling him. But if Bayern come knocking, Julian Nagelsmann, I think, will be leaving.
You mentioned that Bayern traveled to Wolfsburg on the weekend between the Champions League exit, the coaching rumors, and still no Robert Lewandowski. What kind of shape are Bayern in coming into this match?
I think it's less coming into this game and more hobbling in, such are the amount of injuries that they have. You saw it in the game against PSG, that where you would have expected them to attack with more vigor and be able to put PSG under more pressure, they just didn't have the legs. And we should say that is completely understandable when, if we look up to the Leipzig game, Sebi, that was their 40th game of the season before these PSG Champions League games. Now, usually, I looked it up, you play that amount of games in a season if you're Bayern Munich in 230 days or so. They played that this season in 184 days, I think it was. So if you've got top athletes who are already, when they're at Bayern Munich, at the top of their game and in top shape, if they can't make that, then I think it says something more about the schedule rather than their ability to cope, because they're having to put up with unforeseen and unheard of circumstances. And the fact that they got as close as they did against PSG is commendable. But I think that there is a certain point where even we in the media have to go, they're human, and how much can you expect of them when your body, that much recovery time is being taken away from them?
Bayern Munich, of course, eliminated from the Champions League. Same fate for Borussia Dortmund this past week. They're still 7 points out of the top 4, Archie. What's the mood around this club with, just 6 games left in their season? I know they got the German Cup still. There's a chance for some hardware there, but things not going great.
No, exactly. I think the best way to sum up the mood at Dortmund right now is quite somber, because it's out of their hands. They need Eintracht Frankfurt to slip up in spectacular fashion, which there has been a lot of talk about the possibility of that this week, what with it being confirmed that Adi Hütter will be moving to Borussia Mönchengladbach next season, that being confirmed. So whether there'll be a drop-off in their form, I can't see that happening per se. But if there is excitement at Dortmund over the Pokal and the Cup semi-final against Holstein Kiel to come and a potential final then against Werder Bremen and RB Leipzig, I think that missing out on the Champions League is a much bigger worry for them, particularly financially with what they stand to lose. We've spoken a lot about what that will mean for Erling Haaland. I'm not sure even he knows what exactly is going to happen right now. Dortmund are still being very firm, saying that they have the understanding with Mino Raiola and Alf-Inge Haaland, Erling Haaland's dad, that Haaland won't be leaving this summer. But let's see what happens come the end of the season. I think that Dortmund needs to have a rethink about their transfer strategy, but I'm not sure that will happen with Michel Zorc, the current sporting director, in charge.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.